Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate documentary on the Twilight Saga, where we'll explore the supernatural world of vampires, werewolves, and forbidden love that has captured the hearts of millions around the world. We'll dive into the books, the films, and everything in between, uncovering the cultural impact of this iconic series on popular culture and YA literature. We'll examine the origins of the Twilight Saga, including author Stephenie Meyer's inspiration for the series and the development of its iconic characters. We'll also explore the role of love and romance in the series, as well as the portrayal of gender and sexuality and how it has challenged traditional norms. We'll take a closer look at the film adaptations and their impact on popular culture, as well as the casting and performances that brought the beloved characters to life. Plus, we'll analyze the special effects and visual design that created the supernatural world of the Twilight Saga. But it doesn't stop there. We'll also dive into the controversies and criticisms surrounding the series, as well as its influence on other media and popular culture. And let's not forget the Twilight fandom, including the fan fiction and fan art that have kept the series alive and kicking for over a decade. So throw on some blue eyeshadow and get ready to howl at the moon, because this is your ultimate guide to the Twilight Saga. First, let's take a deep dive into the world and characters of the Twilight Saga. From vampires and werewolves to high school students and ancient enemies, the Twilight universe is full of fascinating characters and rich lore. Let's start with our heroine, Bella Swan. Bella is a shy, awkward high school student who moves to the rainy town of Forks, Washington, and falls in love with the mysterious and brooding Edward Cullen. Bella is a relatable character for many fans, and her journey from a shy outsider to a confident young woman is one of the most compelling aspects of the series. Now let's talk about Edward Cullen. Edward is a vampire who has been alive for over 100 years and is part of the Cullen family, a group of vegetarian vampires who don't feed on humans. Edward is a complex character who struggles with his love for Bella and the danger that his vampire nature poses to her. He's also a skilled pianist and a devoted protector of his family. Next, we have the Cullen family. Carlisle, Esme, Alice, Jasper, Rosalie, and Emmett are all vampires who live together as a family in Forks. Each member of the Cullen family has a unique backstory and personality, and their interactions with each other are some of the most memorable moments from the series. But the Cullens aren't the only supernatural creatures in the Twilight universe. We also have the Quileute tribe, who are werewolves. Jacob Black, one of Bella's closest friends, is a member of the Quileute tribe and later becomes a werewolf himself. The conflict between the Cullens and the Quileute tribe forms a central part of the series' mythology and adds an extra layer of tension and drama. Let's not forget about the Volturi, the ancient vampire coven who serve as the series' main antagonists. The Volturi are a powerful and feared group of vampires who enforce the laws of the vampire world and have a strict code of conduct. Arrow, Caius, and Marcus are the leaders of the Volturi, and their interactions with the Cullens and other characters are some of the most intense moments from the series. One of the most significant themes of the Twilight Saga is the power of love and sacrifice. Bella and Edward's love story is at the heart of the series, but we also see many other examples of love and sacrifice throughout the story. From the Cullens' devotion to each other to Jacob's loyalty to his pack, the Twilight universe is full of characters who are willing to risk everything for the people they care about. Finally, we have to mention the setting of the Twilight Saga. The rainy town of Forks, Washington, with its lush forests and misty landscapes, is a character in its own right. The town's atmospheric setting perfectly captures the mood of the story and adds an extra layer of romance and danger to the series. The world and characters of the Twilight Saga are full of fascinating details, rich lore, and memorable personalities. From Bella and Edward's love story to the conflict between the Cullens and the Volturi, the Twilight universe is a world that fans can't help but get lost in. It's no wonder that the series has captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world and remains a beloved classic of young adult literature. Next, let's dive into the origins of the beloved series and explore Stephenie Meyer's inspiration for the Twilight Saga. It all started with a dream that Meyer had in 2003. She dreamt of a sparkling vampire in a meadow, and from that one image, the entire world of Twilight was born. But the inspiration for the series goes beyond just one dream. Meyer has cited various sources of inspiration, including the classic novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. The dynamic between Bella and Edward is often compared to the relationship between Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. Another major source of inspiration for Meyer was her own life experiences. She grew up in Arizona, and many of the locations in the book are based on real places she knew growing up. She also drew from her own experiences as a teenager, including her own personal struggles with depression. Meyer has also spoken about her fascination with the Quileute tribe, a Native American tribe from the Pacific Northwest. The Quileute legends inspired many of the supernatural elements in the series, including the shapeshifters. Of course, one cannot talk about the origins of the Twilight Saga without mentioning the phenomenon that was the Harry Potter series. Meyer has spoken about the impact the series had on her and how it inspired her to write a series of her own. The first book in the Twilight Saga was published in 2005 and was an instant hit. The series went on to sell over 100 million copies worldwide and was adapted into a hugely successful movie franchise. But the success of the series was not without its challenges. Meyer has spoken about the pressure of living up to the expectations of her fans and the intense scrutiny that came with her newfound fame. Despite the challenges, the Twilight Saga has left a lasting impact on popular culture. The series has become a cultural touchstone for an entire generation and continues to inspire new fans today. From the dreams of a young writer to a worldwide phenomenon, the Twilight Saga will always be remembered as a truly special and magical world. Now let's take a closer look at the historical inaccuracies and controversies in the beloved series. While the Twilight Saga is a work of fiction, it still contains references to real-life events and cultures. However, some of these references have been criticized for their inaccuracies and problematic aspects. One of the most significant controversies in the Twilight Saga is the depiction of Native American culture. The Quileute tribe, who are featured prominently in the series, have criticized the way they are portrayed in the books and movies. They have argued that the series appropriates their culture and perpetuates harmful stereotypes. Another area of controversy is the way the series depicts gender roles. Bella, the series' protagonist, is often criticized for her lack of agency and independence. Some critics have argued that her story reinforces traditional gender roles and sends a harmful message to young readers. The series has also been criticized for its treatment of mental health issues. Edward, one of the series' main characters, is portrayed as a hero despite exhibiting abusive and controlling behavior towards Bella. This portrayal has been criticized for its harmful message about abusive relationships. One of the most significant controversies in the series is the depiction of vampires. While the series takes some inspiration from traditional vampire lore, it also contains many departures from the traditional myths. For example, the vampires in the Twilight Saga do not fear garlic or crosses, and they are able to walk around in sunlight. Another area of controversy is the series' treatment of religion. The Twilight Saga has been criticized for promoting a conservative Christian worldview. Some critics have argued that the series promotes abstinence and traditional gender roles in a way that is harmful to young readers. The series' portrayal of romance has also been criticized. The relationship between Bella and Edward has been criticized for its lack of healthy communication and the way it idealizes an unhealthy relationship dynamic. Finally, the series has been criticized for its lack of diversity. While the series does feature some characters of color, they are often relegated to minor roles or treated as stereotypes. The Twilight Saga is a beloved series that has captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. However, the series is not without its controversies and historical inaccuracies. It's important to engage in critical analysis of media and to recognize the ways in which even beloved works of fiction can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and messages. Now let's examine the portrayal of vampires and werewolves in the series and how they differ from traditional folklore. The Twilight Saga is a unique take on the classic monster genre with its own rules and lore that set it apart from traditional vampire and werewolf stories. In the Twilight Saga, vampires are portrayed as beautiful, immortal creatures who possess superhuman strength and speed. They are also capable of healing rapidly and have the ability to read minds. Unlike traditional vampires, the vampires in the Twilight Saga are able to walk around in sunlight, but they do sparkle in the sun. One of the most significant departures from traditional vampire lore in the Twilight Saga is the way that vampires are able to control their thirst for blood. The Cullen family, who are the main group of vampires in the series, choose to feed on animal blood instead of human blood. This choice allows them to coexist with humans without endangering them. Werewolves in the Twilight Saga are also portrayed differently from traditional werewolves. In the series, the werewolves are members of the Quileute tribe and are able to shape-shift into wolves. However, unlike traditional werewolves, they are able to control their transformations and are not subject to the full moon. Another significant difference in the portrayal of werewolves in the Twilight Saga is their origin story. In traditional folklore, werewolves are created through a curse or through being bitten by another werewolf. However, in the Twilight Saga, the werewolves are descended from a long line of shapeshifters who protect their tribe from vampires. The Twilight Saga also introduces the concept of imprinting, which is a unique way that werewolves find their soulmates. When a werewolf imprints on someone, they become bonded to that person for life and will do anything to protect and care for them. This concept is unique to the Twilight Saga and adds an extra layer of romance and emotion to the story. In the Twilight Saga, vampires and werewolves are presented as mortal enemies. However, over the course of the series, we see the characters form alliances and work together for the greater good. This departure from traditional monster stories is one of the things that makes the Twilight Saga so unique. Finally, it's worth noting that the Twilight Saga is not the only piece of media to depart from traditional vampire and werewolf folklore. Many other works of fiction have taken inspiration from these classic monsters but added their own twists and interpretations. The portrayal of vampires and werewolves in the Twilight Saga is unique and sets the series apart from traditional folklore. While some elements of the classic myths remain, such as superhuman strength and shape-shifting, the Twilight Saga introduces new concepts such as animal blood and imprinting that are specific to this world. And now for my favorite topic, and one of the most fascinating aspects of the Twilight Saga, the use of color and symbolism. From the very beginning, Stephanie Meyer used color to create a mood and convey meaning throughout the series. Let's dive in and explore some of the most iconic uses of color in the Twilight universe. First and foremost, we have to talk about the colors of the Cullen family. Edward and his vampire family have a preference for dressing in neutral colors like white, black, and gray. But when Bella is first introduced to them, she notices that their eyes are a unique color, a striking topaz that changes to black when they're thirsty. This sets the tone for the rest of the series and highlights the importance of eye color in the Twilight universe. Speaking of eye color, what about the use of red in the series? Red is a symbol of danger and blood, two things that are inextricably linked to vampires. Throughout the series, the color red appears in significant moments, such as the blood on Bella's shirt after she cuts herself in biology class, or the red eyes of the evil vampire, Victoria. In contrast to the darkness and danger represented by red, we have the color blue. Blue is a symbol of calmness and safety in the Twilight Saga. Edward's eyes turn blue when he's happy, and Bella is often seen wearing blue clothing or surrounded by blue in moments of safety and comfort. Another crucial color in the Twilight universe is green. Green is used to symbolize the natural world and the character of Jacob Black, Bella's werewolf friend. Jacob's transformation into a werewolf occurs in the woods, surrounded by green trees and lush vegetation. And in the fourth book, Breaking Dawn, the color green is used to represent hope and new beginnings. Let's not forget about the significance of the color white in the Twilight universe. White represents purity and innocence, which are two things that Bella is known for. The first time Edward sees Bella, she is wearing a white shirt, which he interprets as a symbol of her purity. Later on, when Bella becomes a vampire, her skin is also white, representing a new beginning for her. Finally, we have to mention the color black. Black is used to symbolize the unknown, fear, and danger in the Twilight universe. The Volturi, a group of powerful Italian vampires, wear black cloaks and represent the ultimate threat to the Cullen family and their way of life. Black is also the color of the werewolves' fur, which makes them appear more menacing and dangerous. The use of color and symbolism in the Twilight Saga is one of the most iconic and memorable aspects of the series. From the Cullen family's preference for neutral tones to the symbolism of red and green, color plays a crucial role in creating mood and meaning throughout the series. Next, let's talk about one of the most significant aspects of the series, the music. From the very beginning, the Twilight soundtrack has been a vital part of the series and has helped to set the mood for each film. So, let's dive into the Twilight soundtrack and explore some of the most iconic songs from the series. One of the most memorable songs from the Twilight soundtrack is Decode by Paramore. This song perfectly captures the mood of the first film and is played during the scene where Bella and Edward are in the forest, talking about his supernatural abilities. The haunting melody and lyrics perfectly complement the tense atmosphere and have become a fan favorite. Another iconic song from the Twilight soundtrack is Supermassive Black Hole by Muse. This song is played during the famous baseball scene, where the Cullens are playing their favorite sport in the pouring rain. The upbeat, fast-paced tempo of the song perfectly captures the energy and excitement of the scene and has become one of the most memorable moments from the first film. Let's not forget about Flightless Bird, American Mouth by Iron and Wine. This beautiful, acoustic song is played during Bella and Edward's wedding scene in Breaking Dawn Part 1. The gentle melody and heartfelt lyrics perfectly capture the emotion of the moment and have become a fan favorite. Another iconic song from the Twilight soundtrack is Eyes on Fire by Blue Foundation. This song is played during the scene where Edward and Bella are lying in a meadow together, and it perfectly captures the intense, romantic mood of the moment. Of course, we can't talk about the Twilight soundtrack without mentioning 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. This beautiful ballad is played during the credits of Breaking Dawn Part 1 and has become a beloved classic among Twilight fans. The heartfelt lyrics and Perry's beautiful vocals perfectly capture the emotion of Bella and Edward's love story. Let's not forget about The Forgotten by Green Day. This song is played during the credits of Breaking Dawn Part 2 and perfectly captures the bittersweet feeling of saying goodbye to the Twilight universe. Finally, we have to mention the iconic Twilight theme, Bella's Lullaby. This beautiful, haunting melody was composed by Carter Barwell and is played during the scene where Edward plays the piano for Bella. The gentle piano melody perfectly captures the romantic and melancholic mood of the scene and has become one of the most memorable moments from the first film. The music and soundtrack of the Twilight Saga are just as iconic and beloved as the films themselves. From the haunting melody of Bella's Lullaby to the upbeat energy of Supermassive Black Hole, the Twilight soundtrack has helped to set the mood for each film and has become an integral part of the Twilight universe. Now let's take a closer look at the role of love and romance in the Twilight Saga. Love is one of the central themes of the series, and the relationship between Bella and Edward has captured the hearts of fans around the world. The romance in the Twilight Saga is characterized by a sense of forbidden love. Bella is a human and Edward is a vampire, and their relationship is complicated by the fact that Edward is constantly struggling to control his thirst for Bella's blood. However, despite these obstacles, Bella and Edward are deeply in love. Their love is intense and all-consuming, and it is often characterized by a sense of longing and sacrifice. One of the most significant aspects of the romance in the Twilight Saga is the idea of soulmates. Bella and Edward are often described as being destined to be together, and their love is presented as being fated and unbreakable. The Twilight Saga also explores the idea of love at first sight. Bella and Edward are immediately drawn to each other, and their attraction is intense and immediate. This concept of love at first sight is often associated with fairy tales and adds a sense of magic and romance to the story. However, the romance in the Twilight Saga has been criticized for its unhealthy aspects. Edward is often portrayed as being possessive and controlling, and their relationship is characterized by a lack of healthy communication. Despite these criticisms, the romance in the Twilight Saga has captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. The series has been credited with helping to popularize the paranormal romance genre and has inspired countless imitators. In addition to the romance between Bella and Edward, the Twilight Saga also explores other relationships. The relationship between Bella and Jacob. Bella and Jacob are close friends, but Jacob also harbors romantic feelings for Bella. The Twilight Saga also features several other romantic relationships, including the relationship between Alice and Jasper and the relationship between Rosalie and Emmett. Love and romance are central themes of the Twilight Saga. The romance between Bella and Edward is intense and all-consuming, characterized by a sense of longing and sacrifice. While the series has been criticized for its unhealthy aspects, it has also captured the hearts of fans around the world and helped to popularize the paranormal romance genre. The Twilight fandom has become a thriving community of those who are passionate about the series. The Twilight fandom is known for its creativity and its love for all things related to the world of Bella, Edward, and the Cullen family. One of the most significant aspects of the Twilight fandom is fan fiction. Fans have taken the characters and world created by Stephenie Meyer and have expanded upon them, creating their own stories and adventures. There are countless Twilight fan fiction stories available online, ranging from romantic stories to action-packed adventures. Another significant aspect of the Twilight fandom is fan art. Fans have created countless drawings and paintings of their favorite characters, capturing their beauty and otherworldly nature. The Twilight fandom has inspired a wide range of artistic styles and has led to the creation of some truly beautiful works of art. The Twilight fandom is also known for its passionate community of fans. Fans of the series have formed their own communities, both online and in person, where they can discuss the books and movies, share fan fiction and art, and connect with others who share their love of the series. In addition to fan fiction and fan art, the Twilight fandom has also produced a wide range of other creative works, including fan-made trailers, music videos, and even clothing inspired by the series. The creativity of the Twilight fandom is truly remarkable and has helped to keep the series alive long after the final book and movie were released. The Twilight fandom has also been credited with helping to popularize the paranormal romance genre. The success of the series has inspired countless imitators and has helped to create a new wave of interest in supernatural love stories. The Twilight fandom has also been the subject of some controversy. Some critics have argued that the series promotes unhealthy relationships and sends a harmful message to young readers. However, fans of the series have defended it, arguing that it is simply a work of fiction and that it has helped to inspire a generation of young readers to fall in love with books and reading. The Twilight fandom is a vibrant and creative community of fans who are passionate about the series. Fan fiction and fan art have become a significant part of the fandom, and fans have created countless works of art and fiction inspired by the world of Bella and Edward. The Twilight fandom has helped to popularize the paranormal romance genre and has inspired a generation of young readers to fall in love with books and reading. As Twilight fans, we can appreciate the creativity and passion of the fandom and the way that it has helped to keep the series alive long after the final book and movie were released. Now it's time for a deep dive into the portrayal of gender and sexuality in the Twilight Saga. The series has been criticized for reinforcing traditional gender roles and promoting a conservative worldview. However, there are also aspects of the series that challenge gender and sexual stereotypes. One of the most significant criticisms of the Twilight Saga is its portrayal of Bella as a passive and dependent character. Bella is often rescued by the male characters in the series, and her story is characterized by a lack of agency and independence. However, there are also elements of the series that challenge traditional gender roles. Bella is portrayed as being strong and resilient, even in the face of danger. She also defies expectations by falling in love with a vampire, who is traditionally seen as a dangerous and seductive creature. The Twilight Saga has also been criticized for its conservative portrayal of sexuality. The series promotes abstinence and promotes the idea that sex should only happen within the confines of marriage. This message has been criticized for being unrealistic and for sending a harmful message to young readers. However, there are also aspects of the series that challenge traditional sexual stereotypes. The Twilight Saga features a wide range of romantic relationships, including same-sex relationships and non-traditional family structures. These relationships help to challenge traditional ideas about gender and sexuality. The relationship between Bella and Edward has also been criticized for its unhealthy aspects. Edward is often portrayed as being possessive and controlling, and their relationship is characterized by a lack of healthy communication. This portrayal has been criticized for sending a harmful message about abusive relationships. However, there are also elements of the series that promote healthy and positive relationships. The relationship between Bella and Jacob, for example, is characterized by a sense of friendship and loyalty. Their relationship challenges traditional ideas about romantic relationships and promotes the idea that strong relationships can exist outside of traditional gender roles. Finally, it's worth noting that the Twilight Saga has had a significant impact on popular culture and has helped to popularize the paranormal romance genre. While the series has been criticized for its portrayal of gender and sexuality, it has also helped to create a new wave of interest in supernatural love stories. The Twilight Saga is a complex and multifaceted series that challenges and reinforces traditional ideas about gender and sexuality. While the series has been criticized for promoting unhealthy relationships and a conservative worldview, it also features elements that challenge traditional gender and sexual stereotypes. Let's take a closer look at the marketing and merchandising of the Twilight Saga. The series has become a cultural phenomenon, and its success can be attributed in part to the clever marketing and merchandising strategies used to promote it. One of the most significant aspects of the marketing and merchandising of the Twilight Saga is the way that it has targeted young adult audiences. The series has been marketed as a love story for teens, and its success can be attributed in part to its appeal to young readers. The Twilight Saga has also been marketed as a franchise, with each new book and movie release generating excitement and anticipation among fans. The marketing campaigns for the movies have been particularly successful, with trailers and posters generating buzz and excitement. The Twilight Saga has also been the subject of a wide range of merchandise, including clothing, jewelry, and other accessories. Fans can purchase everything from Twilight-inspired t-shirts to replica jewelry worn by the characters in the movies. One of the most significant merchandising successes of the Twilight Saga has been the creation of Twilight-themed conventions and events. Fans can attend conventions where they can meet other fans, participate in activities, and purchase exclusive merchandise. The Twilight Saga has also been successful in its use of social media to connect with fans. The series has a large and active social media following, with official accounts on platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. These accounts are used to promote the series and connect with fans around the world. One of the most significant merchandising successes of the Twilight Saga has been the creation of tie-in products, such as soundtracks and companion books. These products help to expand the world of the series and provide fans with additional content to enjoy. The marketing and merchandising of the Twilight Saga have been credited with helping to create a new wave of interest in the paranormal romance genre. The success of the series has inspired countless imitators and has helped to establish the genre as a popular and profitable one. Finally, it's worth noting that the marketing and merchandising of the Twilight Saga have been the subject of some criticism. Some critics have argued that the series has been overly commercialized and that the focus on merchandising has detracted from the quality of the books and movies. The marketing and merchandising of the Twilight Saga have been an important part of its success. The series has been marketed to young adult audiences and has been the subject of a wide range of merchandise, tie-in products, and events. While some critics have criticized the commercialization of the series, it's clear that the marketing and merchandising strategies used to promote it have been successful in capturing the hearts of fans around the world. The series has been both loved and criticized by critics, and its impact on popular culture cannot be denied. One of the most significant criticisms of the Twilight Saga has been its portrayal of gender roles. Critics have argued that the series promotes traditional gender roles and that Bella's character is portrayed as being weak and passive. This criticism has been particularly prevalent in feminist circles. The Twilight Saga has also been criticized for promoting an unhealthy and unrealistic view of relationships. The series has been accused of promoting the idea that women should be passive and dependent on their male partners, and that unhealthy relationships are acceptable. However, the Twilight Saga has also been praised for its portrayal of teenage emotions and its ability to capture the intensity of first love. The series has been credited with helping to inspire a generation of young readers to fall in love with books and reading. The Twilight Saga has also been praised for its imaginative world building and its ability to create a unique and compelling supernatural universe. The series has introduced new twists on traditional folklore, and its vampires and werewolves have become iconic characters in popular culture. The movies based on the Twilight Saga have also been the subject of both criticism and praise. While some critics have praised the movies for their ability to capture the spirit of the books, others have criticized them for their wooden acting and overly melodramatic tone. Despite the criticism that the Twilight Saga has received, it remains a beloved series for millions of fans around the world. The series has inspired a wide range of fan fiction, fan art, and merchandise, and its impact on popular culture cannot be denied. The Twilight Saga has also helped to popularize the paranormal romance genre, and its success has inspired countless imitators. The series has created a new wave of interest in supernatural love stories, and its impact on popular culture will continue to be felt for years to come. The critical reception of the Twilight Saga has been both positive and negative. While the series has been criticized for its portrayal of gender roles and unhealthy relationships, it has also been praised for its ability to capture the intensity of first love and its imaginative world building. Now let's talk about what brought a lot of us into the world of Twilight, the films and their adaptation from the books. The movies have been an integral part of the Twilight phenomenon, and they have helped to bring the series to an even wider audience. One of the most significant challenges of adapting the Twilight books to the big screen was capturing the essence of the characters and their relationships. The movies had to find a way to translate the intense emotions and internal struggles of the characters to the screen, while also staying true to the vision of author Stephanie Meyer. The Twilight films have also been criticized for taking too many liberties with the source material. Some fans have argued that the movies strayed too far from the books and that they failed to capture the depth and complexity of the characters. However, the Twilight films have also been praised for their ability to capture the spirit of the books and to bring the world of Bella and Edward to life on the big screen. The movies have introduced new fans to the world of the books and have helped to create a new wave of interest in the series. One of the most significant differences between the Twilight books and the movies is the way that they handle the characters of Bella and Edward. In the books, Bella is portrayed as being passive and dependent on Edward, while Edward is portrayed as being domineering and possessive. The movies have attempted to portray the characters in a more nuanced and sympathetic light. The Twilight films have also been praised for their use of music and cinematography. The movies have a distinctive visual style, and the use of music helps to create a mood that is both romantic and eerie. The Twilight films have also been the subject of some controversy. Some critics have argued that the movies promote unhealthy relationships and send a harmful message to young viewers. However, fans of the series have defended the movies, arguing that they are simply a work of fiction and that they should be judged on their own merits. Finally, it's worth noting that the Twilight films have been a significant part of the franchise's success. The movies have helped to introduce new fans to the world of Bella and Edward, and they have helped to create a new wave of interest in the paranormal romance genre. The Twilight films have been an important part of the franchise's success, and they have helped to bring the world of Bella and Edward to an even wider audience. While the movies have been criticized for straying too far from the source material and promoting unhealthy relationships, they have also been praised for their ability to capture the spirit of the books and to bring the world of Twilight to life on the big screen. As Twilight fans, we can appreciate the movies for what they are while also acknowledging their flaws and striding for greater inclusivity and representation in media. The movies have featured a talented cast of actors who have helped to bring the world of Bella and Edward to life on the big screen. One of the most significant casting decisions in the Twilight films was the choice of Kristen Stewart to play the role of Bella. Stewart's performance helped to capture the emotional intensity and vulnerability of the character, and she was praised for her ability to convey a range of emotions. Robert Pattinson was also a standout performer in the role of Edward. Pattinson's portrayal of the brooding vampire helped to create a compelling and complex character, and his chemistry with Stewart helped to create a romantic tension that was central to the series. The Twilight films also featured a talented supporting cast, including Taylor Lautner, who played the role of Jacob. Lautner's performance as the werewolf who competes with Edward for Bella's affections was praised for its intensity and athleticism. The movies also featured a talented group of actors in supporting roles, including Peter Facinelli, who played the role of Carlisle, and Elizabeth Reeser, who played the role of Esme. These actors helped to bring the Cullen family to life and to create a sense of warmth and belonging in the series. The casting and performances in the Twilight films were also praised for their ability to capture the essence of the characters from the books. Fans of the series appreciated the attention to detail in the casting and the way that the actors were able to bring the characters to life in a way that felt true to the source material. While the performances in the Twilight films were generally well received, there were some criticisms of the acting in the series. Some critics felt that the performances were too wooden and melodramatic, and that the actors struggled to convey the complex emotions of the characters. However, the performances in the Twilight films were also praised for their ability to capture the intensity of first love and the struggles of young adulthood. The movies helped to create a new wave of interest in the paranormal romance genre, and the talented cast of actors played a significant role in the success of the series. The casting and performances in the Twilight films were a significant part of the franchise's success. The talented cast of actors helped to bring the world of Bella and Edward to life on the big screen, and their performances captured the emotional intensity and complexity of the characters. While there were some criticisms of the acting in the series, the performances were generally well received and played a significant role in creating a new wave of interest in the paranormal romance genre. Let's examine the special effects and visual design in the Twilight films. The movies have been praised for their imaginative world building and their ability to bring the world of Bella and Edward to life on the big screen. One of the most significant aspects of the special effects in the Twilight films is the way that they have brought the supernatural creatures to life. The vampires and werewolves in the series are given a distinctive and memorable visual style, and the use of special effects helps to create a sense of awe and wonder. The visual design of the Twilight films is also a standout aspect of the series. The movies are known for their use of muted colors and moody lighting, which helps to create a sense of mystery and atmosphere. The use of settings like the dark and foggy forests of the Pacific Northwest, as well as the grandeur of the Cullen family's mansion, has also been credited with helping to create a unique and memorable visual style. The Twilight films also make use of visual metaphors and symbolism to help convey the emotions and struggles of the characters. The use of water as a symbol of Bella's emotions, for example, helps to create a visual shorthand for her internal struggles. The special effects in the Twilight films have also been praised for their ability to capture the physicality and athleticism of the supernatural creatures. The vampires and werewolves in the series move with a speed and grace that helps to create a sense of danger and excitement. The Twilight films have also made use of practical effects, such as makeup and prosthetics, to help create the distinctive look of the vampires and werewolves. The use of practical effects helps to create a sense of realism and authenticity that is often missing from more heavily computer-generated films. While the special effects in the Twilight films have been generally well received, there have been some criticisms of the way that they have been used. Some critics have argued that the special effects are too over the top and that they detract from the emotional depth of the story. However, the special effects and visual design of the Twilight films have played a significant role in creating a unique and memorable world for Bella and Edward to inhabit. The movies have created a distinctive visual style that has helped to make the series a cultural phenomenon. The special effects and visual design of the Twilight films have been a standout aspect of the series. The movies have created a distinctive and memorable world for Bella and Edward to inhabit, and the use of special effects and visual metaphors has helped to convey the emotional depth and complexity of the characters. While there have been criticisms of the special effects, the series has been generally well received for its imaginative world-building and distinctive visual style. The Twilight series has had a significant impact on the world of literature, film, and beyond, and it has helped to shape the popular consciousness of the paranormal romance genre. One of the most significant ways that the Twilight Saga has influenced popular culture is through its impact on young adult literature. The success of the series helped to create a new wave of interest in paranormal romance and young adult fiction, and it paved the way for other successful series like The Hunger Games and Divergent. The Twilight Saga has also been a significant influence on the world of film. The success of the movies helped to create a new wave of interest in the paranormal romance genre and helped to create a new generation of filmgoers who were drawn to the emotional intensity and drama of the series. The influence of the Twilight Saga has also been felt in other forms of media, including television and music. The series helped to create a new wave of interest in supernatural-themed television shows, like The Vampire Diaries and True Blood, and it inspired a number of popular songs and soundtracks. The Twilight Saga has also had a significant impact on fashion and style. The series helped to popularize a new look that was defined by skinny jeans, leather jackets, and vintage t-shirts, and it helped to create a new wave of interest in gothic and punk fashion. The Twilight Saga has also had a significant impact on the way that we talk about and understand love and relationships. The intense emotional drama of the series helped to create a new standard for what romance and relationships could be, and it has helped to shape the popular consciousness of what it means to be in love. The Twilight Saga has also helped to inspire a new wave of creativity in the world of fan fiction and fan art. Fans of the series have created a vast array of fan works, including stories, artwork, and even musical compositions. Finally, the Twilight Saga has had a significant impact on the way that we think about and understand the paranormal. The series helped to popularize a new image of vampires and werewolves, and it has helped to create a new wave of interest in supernatural-themed media. The Twilight Saga has had a significant impact on popular culture and has helped to shape the way that we think about and understand the paranormal romance genre. The series has influenced young adult literature, film, music, fashion, and even the way that we understand love and relationships. All good things must come to an end, and the Twilight series concluded with the release of the final book, Breaking Dawn, and the final two films in the series, Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Breaking Dawn Part 2. The ending of the Twilight Saga was met with mixed reactions from fans. Some fans were pleased with the way that the series concluded and felt that it was a satisfying and emotionally resonant conclusion to the story of Bella and Edward. These fans praised the way that the series ended on a hopeful and optimistic note and felt that it was a fitting end to the story. However, other fans were disappointed with the ending of the series and felt that it was a rushed and unsatisfying conclusion to the story. These fans felt that the ending left too many loose ends and unresolved plot threads, and that it did not provide a satisfying resolution to the story. Some fans were also disappointed with the way that the series concluded because of the way that it resolved the love triangle between Bella, Edward, and Jacob. These fans felt that the ending did not do justice to the complex emotional dynamics of the love triangle and that it did not provide a satisfying resolution to the conflict. Despite these mixed reactions, the ending of the Twilight Saga has had a lasting impact on the fandom. The ending has inspired a new wave of fan fiction and fan art and has helped to create a new standard for what it means to be a Twilight fan. The ending of the Twilight Saga has also helped to shape the way that fans think about and understand the series. The ending has become a touchstone for fans of the series and has helped to shape the popular consciousness of what it means to be a Twilight fan. The ending of the Twilight Saga has also helped to create a new wave of interest in the series among new fans. The success of the final films in the series helped to create a new wave of interest in the series and has helped to cement the Twilight Saga as a cultural phenomenon. While the ending of the Twilight Saga was met with mixed reactions from fans, there was a specific controversy that surrounded the release of the final book, Breaking Dawn. One of the main points of controversy surrounding Breaking Dawn was the depiction of Bella's pregnancy. Some fans felt that the way that the pregnancy was depicted in the book was too graphic and disturbing, and that it glorified unhealthy and dangerous behaviors. The depiction of Bella's pregnancy was also criticized for its anti-abortion themes. Some fans felt that the book was promoting a pro-life agenda and that it was sending a harmful message to young readers. Another point of controversy surrounding Breaking Dawn was the portrayal of certain characters. Some fans felt that the book portrayed certain characters in a negative light and that it was unfair and inconsistent with the way that the characters had been portrayed in previous books. The controversy surrounding Breaking Dawn helped to spark a wider conversation about the way that young adult literature depicts sensitive and controversial themes. The series was praised for its ability to explore complex themes and issues, but also criticized for the way that it handled certain sensitive topics. Despite the controversy surrounding Breaking Dawn, the book was still a commercial success and helped to cement the Twilight Saga as a cultural phenomenon. The book was the final installment in a series that had captured the hearts and imaginations of fans around the world, and it helped to bring the story of Bella and Edward to a close. The release of the final Twilight book, Breaking Dawn, was met with controversy from fans. The depiction of Bella's pregnancy, the anti-abortion themes, and the rushed and unsatisfying ending were all points of contention for fans. However, the controversy surrounding the book helped to spark a wider conversation about the way that young adult literature depicts sensitive and controversial themes. The Twilight Saga has been praised for its ability to explore complex themes and issues, but also criticized for the way that it handled certain sensitive topics. Now let's take a closer look at the message and themes of the Twilight Saga. One of the central themes of the series is the power of love and the sacrifices that we make for the people that we care about. The series explores the intensity and emotional complexity of romantic love and the ways in which it can inspire us to be better and more selfless people. Another theme of the series is the idea of personal transformation and growth. The series follows the character of Bella as she transforms from a shy and introverted teenager into a confident and self-assured young woman. The series shows that personal growth is a difficult but rewarding journey and that we can become the best versions of ourselves through hard work and perseverance. The Twilight Saga also explores the themes of identity and self-discovery. The series follows the characters as they grapple with questions of who they are and where they belong in the world. The series shows that it is important to be true to ourselves and to follow our hearts, even if that means going against the expectations of others. Another theme of the series is the idea of family and community. The series shows that we all need a sense of belonging and connection to others, and that family can be found in unexpected places. The series also explores the idea of the vampire coven as a kind of surrogate family and the ways in which they support and protect one another. The Twilight Saga also touches on the theme of mortality and the fear of death. The series shows that the fear of death is a powerful and universal human emotion, and that it can inspire us to make the most of our time on Earth and to appreciate the people and experiences that make life worth living. Another theme of the series is the importance of personal agency and free will. The series explores the tension between fate and choice and shows that we have the power to make our own decisions and to shape our own destinies. The Twilight Saga is a rich and complex exploration of themes and issues that are central to the human experience. The series explores the power of love, the importance of personal growth and self-discovery, the need for belonging and community, the fear of mortality, the importance of personal agency, and much more. Now, let's take a closer look at the significance of Twilight's setting in the Pacific Northwest. The Pacific Northwest is a region of the United States that is known for its lush forests, rugged coastlines, and vibrant cultural scene. The region is home to a diverse population of people, including many artists, writers, and creative professionals. The setting of the Twilight Saga in the Pacific Northwest is significant because it provides a rich and evocative backdrop for the story. The forests and mountains of the region create a sense of mystery and danger, while the small town setting of Forks gives the story a sense of intimacy and community. The Pacific Northwest setting of the Twilight Saga is also significant because it reflects the cultural and social values of the region. The Pacific Northwest is known for its commitment to environmentalism and sustainability, and these themes are reflected in the Twilight Saga through the Cullen family's vegetarianism and their commitment to living in harmony with nature. The Pacific Northwest setting of the Twilight Saga is also significant because it helps to establish a sense of place and identity for the story. The Pacific Northwest is a unique and special place, and by setting the story there, Stephanie Meyer was able to create a strong sense of place and identity for the story. The setting of the Twilight Saga in the Pacific Northwest is also significant because it reflects the growing cultural and social awareness of the region. The Pacific Northwest is a region that has always been at the forefront of social and cultural change, and the Twilight Saga reflects this by exploring themes of personal growth, self-discovery, and the importance of family and community. The Pacific Northwest setting of the Twilight Saga is also significant because it provides a rich and textured backdrop for the story's exploration of themes of identity, belonging, and personal transformation. The forests, mountains, and coastline of the region provide a rich and evocative backdrop for the story and help to establish a sense of place and identity for the series. Now, let's dive into examining the crossover between Twilight and other supernatural romance series. The success of the Twilight Saga helped to spark a resurgence of interest in supernatural romance in popular culture. Other series such as The Mortal Instruments, The Infernal Devices, and The Vampire Diaries all explore themes of love, romance, and the supernatural. One of the most popular and well-known supernatural romance series that has crossover with the Twilight Saga is The Vampire Diaries. Like Twilight, The Vampire Diaries explores themes of love, loss, and the struggle between good and evil. The series has a passionate fan base and has been adapted into a successful television show. Another supernatural romance series that has crossover with Twilight is The Mortal Instruments. The series follows the adventures of a group of demon hunters and explores themes of love, friendship, and the battle between good and evil. The series has also been adapted into a successful television show. Another series that has crossover with Twilight is The Infernal Devices. This series is a prequel to The Mortal Instruments and explores the adventures of a group of demon hunters in Victorian London. The series explores themes of love, loss, and the struggle between good and evil and has a passionate fan base. The crossover between Twilight and other supernatural romance series is significant because it reflects the enduring popularity of the genre. The themes and ideas explored in these series resonate with readers and viewers around the world and have helped to shape the cultural and literary landscape. The crossover between Twilight and other supernatural romance series is also significant because it helps to establish a sense of community and connection among fans. Fans of these series share a passion for the supernatural and are able to connect and bond over their shared interests and passions. In addition to the Twilight Saga's significant impact on popular culture and the literary landscape, it has had a profound impact on tourism in Forks, Washington. Forks is a small town in the Pacific Northwest that was the primary setting for the Twilight Saga. The town has seen a significant increase in tourism since the release of the first Twilight book in 2005. Fans of the Twilight Saga come from all over the world to visit Forks and see the real-life locations that inspired the story. The town has embraced its connection to the Twilight Saga, and many businesses and attractions in the town have adopted Twilight-themed names and decor. One of the most popular attractions in Forks is the Forks Chamber of Commerce, which serves as the official visitor center for the town. The Chamber of Commerce has developed a variety of Twilight-themed tours and events for fans, including tours of the real-life locations that inspired the series. Another popular attraction in Forks is the Forks Outfitters store, which has become a popular destination for fans looking to purchase Twilight-themed merchandise. The store carries a wide range of Twilight-themed items, including t-shirts, posters, and memorabilia. The Twilight Saga's impact on tourism in Forks is significant because it has helped to boost the local economy and provide new opportunities for businesses in the area. The increased tourism has helped to create new jobs and support local businesses, and has brought new attention and resources to the town. The Twilight Saga's impact on tourism in Forks is also significant because it has helped to raise awareness of the town and the region. Many fans of the series had never heard of Forks before reading the books, and the increased tourism has helped to showcase the town's natural beauty and unique cultural identity. The Twilight Saga has also influenced fashion and beauty trends. One of the most iconic fashion trends to emerge from the Twilight Saga is the Twilight hair. This hairstyle, which features long, loose waves and a center part, was popularized by Kristen Stewart's portrayal of Bella Swan in the films. The hairstyle quickly became a popular trend among fans and is still often associated with the series. Another popular fashion trend to emerge from the Twilight Saga is the Twilight wardrobe. The series features a variety of outfits and styles that have become iconic in their own right, including Bella's plaid shirts and Converse sneakers and the Cullen family's sleek and modern wardrobe. The Twilight Saga's influence on beauty trends is also significant. The series has helped to popularize a natural and understated approach to makeup, with a focus on glowing, dewy skin and minimal eye makeup. This trend is often associated with the character of Bella Swan, who is known for her natural beauty and effortless style. The Twilight Saga's influence on fashion and beauty trends is significant because it has helped to shape the cultural and aesthetic landscape. The series has inspired countless fans to experiment with their own style and beauty looks, and has helped to create a new generation of fashion and beauty trends. The Twilight Saga's influence on fashion and beauty trends is also significant because it reflects the series' focus on personal transformation and self-expression. The characters in the series are constantly evolving and changing, and their fashion and beauty choices reflect this process of growth and self-discovery. One thing every Twilight fan knows well: books are a very different medium than movies. With that in mind, let's take a closer look at the film adaptations of Twilight and the changes made from the books. The Twilight Saga has been adapted into a successful film series, with each of the 4 books being adapted into a feature film. The film adaptations were directed by a variety of directors, including Catherine Hardwicke, Chris Weitz, and Bill Condon. One of the most significant changes from the books to the films was the portrayal of the character of Bella Swan. In the books, Bella is portrayed as a quiet and introspective character, while in the films she is more confident and assertive. This change was made to help translate Bella's character to the big screen and to make her a more relatable and engaging character for audiences. Another significant change from the books to the films was the portrayal of the vampires. In the books, the vampires are described as having pale skin and sparkling in the sunlight, while in the films their skin glows in a more dramatic and cinematic way. This change was made to enhance the visual impact of the vampire characters on screen. The film adaptations also made changes to the pacing and structure of the story. Some elements from the books were condensed or removed entirely in order to fit the story into a feature-length film. Other elements were added to help flesh out the story and provide additional context for the characters and their relationships. The film adaptations of Twilight were also able to enhance the visual and aesthetic elements of the story, including the Pacific Northwest setting and the characters' fashion and style. The films were able to create a more immersive and cinematic experience for viewers, bringing the world of the Twilight Saga to life in a new and exciting way. The Twilight Saga has been translated into over 40 different languages and has been embraced by fans in countries around the world, including Japan, South Korea, and China. The series has become a cultural phenomenon in many of these countries and has been embraced by fans of all ages and backgrounds. One reason for the Twilight Saga's popularity in non-Western countries is its universal themes of love, friendship, and self-discovery. The series' focus on personal transformation and self-expression has resonated with fans around the world and has helped to create a new generation of Twilight fans. The Twilight Saga's influence on non-Western countries is also significant because it has helped to challenge traditional gender roles and cultural norms. The series' portrayal of strong and independent female characters has helped to inspire and empower young women around the world and has helped to promote a more inclusive and egalitarian society. The Twilight Saga's influence on non-Western countries is also significant because it has helped to break down cultural barriers and promote cross-cultural understanding. The series has helped to connect fans from different cultures and backgrounds, and has created a new generation of fans who share a love for the series and its themes. As we've seen, the Twilight Saga has had a significant impact on popular culture and has influenced fashion and beauty trends, film adaptations, and even non-Western countries. Now let's take a closer look at the Twilight Saga's legacy and continued relevance today. Despite the fact that the series was first published over 15 years ago, the Twilight Saga continues to be relevant and beloved by fans around the world. The series has created a new generation of fans who continue to embrace the themes and characters of the story. One reason for the Twilight Saga's continued relevance is its universal themes of love, self-discovery, and personal transformation. These themes are timeless and resonate with audiences of all ages and backgrounds. The Twilight Saga's continued relevance is also significant because it has inspired new generations of supernatural romance stories and created a new subgenre of young adult literature. The series has helped to break down barriers in the literary landscape and inspire new voices and stories. The Twilight Saga's influence on popular culture and its continued relevance today is also significant because it reflects the changing nature of society and the shifting attitudes toward love, romance, and gender roles. The series has helped to challenge traditional norms and promote inclusivity and equality. After exploring the world of the Twilight Saga, it's clear that this series has left a significant impact on popular culture and YA literature. From its universal themes of love and self-discovery to its portrayal of strong, independent female characters, the Twilight Saga has inspired and empowered a new generation of fans around the world. Through its books, films, and adaptations, the Twilight Saga has created a cultural phenomenon that has touched the hearts of millions of fans. From the Pacific Northwest setting to the supernatural romance, the series has left a lasting impact on our society, challenging traditional norms and promoting inclusivity and equality. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a newcomer to the series, it's clear that the Twilight Saga's legacy will continue to resonate with us for years to come. So grab your copy of Twilight and dive back into the world of vampires, werewolves, and forbidden love. Because with the Twilight Saga, the adventure never ends.